Bostonian is Matt Perrault.
This is our city.
The Book is Dave Sharapan.
Pay him. Pay that man his money.
Together, they are the Bostonian versus the Book.
You covered! You covered 12! I covered!
Follow the show on Twitter at Boston versus the Book.
How do you like them apples?
Bringing you the best insight on sports betting news, Matt and Dave's daily picks, and an entertaining and unfiltered dive into the sports betting industry. Here's Dave Sharapan and Matt Perrault.
And here we go.
Happy Tuesday, guys. Happy holidays. Welcome into another episode of the Bostonian versus the Book. Dave Sharapan, Matt Perrault. We are live. Instagram folks, how are you? A lot of folks piling in on the new Instagram live feed we've been doing. We are live on our YouTube channel at Boston versus the Book, live on X, Twitter as well, replayed on Sirius XM channel 159 and on Sports Grid Television, where you can see Dave each and every night and us 6 times a week. How are you, sir? Lots of good stuff to get to on this Tuesday.
Oh, I'm good. Dogs are put away. Kids are home.
Yes.
A lot of people coming in, coming out, moving, picking last minute things up, getting first time things. It's only the 19th.
I'm
Some
so
people
late.
have not even started.
Me.
Yeah,
I'm so late. I am so.
Yeah.
I'm normally on the ball with Christmas stuff. I am woefully lacking this year.
Yeah.
I am in the Amazon search mode of like, when does it get delivered? When can I get this sent to my house? The 22nd, 23rd. Can we get it in time? I'm in that mode at the moment for what we're going to do for Christmas shopping. So I'm lacking this year.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff going on. I finally feel a little bit better. I got to get rid of this rest of whatever's here, gone, but I can sit up, I can go outside, I can go for a walk. It was good this morning. A lot of people here hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, as you guys always do. We appreciate that. Got a lot to talk about. There's a lot of things that happen. A lot of people are taking vacation this week. I feel like we're diving in deeper, like right here on.
Well, that's for next week. I mean, I'm headed back to Boston, Connecticut, New York for the trip for coming up here. So I get the countdown to the holidays, and Roll Call Friday will be big for us. It's our last show before Christmas. So we're less than a week away. So I get that mentality of like, okay, let's kick out of the last 2 weeks of the year. A lot of folks do take the last 2 weeks of the year. It's always been like kind of built in for me to take the last week of the year off, just because it's bowl games and it's the countdown to the college football playoffs. What will be different is if we do the playoff, when do we play the first round games? Because my gut tells me it'll happen the week like this week.
Well,
and then
last week.
So you think it all gets bumped back a week deeper so they want to go further up against the NFL playoffs? Because I think the other way around. I think they want to get away from the NFL playoffs and get into the bowl season.
Oh,
you know what I mean? Like if I was scheduling it, I would just go this week.
They've already played them last week. They've already played the first round games. So they're all done before the NFL playoffs.
Well, no, because if the championship game is on the 8th, right? Or it's on the 7th. It's on the 7th. Championship game's on the 7th.
Yeah.
It's Monday the 7th, right? Or is it Monday the 8th? Maybe Monday the 8th. You're going Monday night championship game. The 30th is the semifinal games. So then the week prior would be the 23rd, which would be this weekend for the quarterfinals. Because that's when I would play it. I wouldn't push it all back a week. So that would prevent vacations for a lot of people in the media, because we'll have, 4 games to break down, 4 big games to break down.
I don't know. I'm worried about all that stuff
Next year. It's going to alternate a lot. I mean, it's going to alter a lot of things in the college schedule.
They'll play them right after the conference championship games. No, be 1 week off and let's go.
I don't think so. No, I think there'll be a break. I think they'll break it up at least for a couple of weeks. I don't think they'll go right into it because they want it to be later.
1 week break. That's it.
Well, the conference championship games happen Yeah, it'll be 1 week. Yep, it'll be 1 week off.
That's it.
Yeah. So that's good. I like that. Everyone's on equal footing. No one gets a longer break. But they do the buys. So 4 teams do get buys out of it.
Right.
So that's the difference. So maybe you are right. 4 teams get buys. But no, you got to play 8 teams. You got to go play 4 games. So no, yeah, you'd have to play it with the quarterfinals, and then you're going to play it into the next weekend. So we'll see, but it will alter next year for sure from a December standpoint. Okay, settle in because I got a lot to talk about here about what just happened last night for Monday Night Football. There's onion to unravel here, and I feel like our show is one of those shows that will actually get into it and actually talk about it honestly as to what went on last night involving the Seahawks game. The Seahawks played real games last night, with who was going to be the starting quarterback. Adam Schefter and other major, large journalists I don't want to say they got played, but they were used by the Seahawks to push a narrative that Geno Smith was going to be able to play last night, and that Geno Smith was active, and that Geno Smith was going to play. At least he made it seem like Geno Smith was going to play. I've got tweets. Here, kids like receipts, right? So here are your receipts as to what went on last night. The first tweet came down at 6:44 Eastern time. Geno Smith is active tonight. Then 6 minutes later, after the market reacted, it did react to this. Adam Schefter said, just because Geno Smith is active does not mean he's starting. The Seahawks have dressed 3 quarterbacks tonight, but have not announced a starter. That got 2.3 million views. An hour later, basically 45 minutes later, the ESPN reporter covering the Seahawks, a guy named Brady Henderson, quoted John Schneider, the GM of the Seahawks, saying that that Geno Smith surprised the Seahawks with how good he looked in pregame warmups. He noted that while Smith is active, they still have about an hour until kickoff to, quote, figure out what's going on. Geno Smith never played a single down in that game last night. But millions of dollars moved on the report that Geno Smith was active. The total went from 45 to 47. The line went from 3.5 to 5.5 instantly. Now, the book.
Well, actually, I have the line history.
Okay,
if you want it.
Sure.
Let's see here. So I just use Circus. Okay. At 3:08 p.m. yesterday, it was -6, Philadelphia.
That's high. Wow, that was high for the market.
Then at 3:15, it was 4.5. Then at 3:22, it was 4. Then at 3:49, it was 3.5. Then at 4 o'clock, it was 4.5. Then at 4:01, it was 3.5. Then at 4:03, it was 3.5 -0.5. And then at 4:05, it was 4. At 4:42, it was 4.5. 4:54, it was 5.5. And at 4:55, it was 5.5 -115. And it closed back at 5.5 flat.
It closed at 5.5 at circa.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
What do you have the total history as well, or just the line history? What happened with the total?
The total was on 3:30. It was at 46. 3:51. It was at 47.
After the tweet, he's active. That tweet came out. Boom, up 2 points.
It was at 46 going into that, so they had already moved it up a point.
Okay.
Before that, 3:51 was 47. 4:34, 46.5. 4:47 back to 47. Then at 5:05, 45.5. So moved it back down because they got the under bet they needed. And it closed 45.5. So I don't know. The books don't know anything. They're just reacting to the money being bet. So.
And the books did well. Okay. The books, obviously, Seahawks win the game outright. Game goes under. So
Yeah.
all the move to the over, all the move to the favorite. Wipe the board out. Take it all. Just all the chips off the board. I want to be clear with what I'm saying here. I'm not accusing Adam Schefter of anything. I'm not accusing the media of anything. I'm accusing the Seahawks of manipulating and leaking things and having things come out that shows the possibility for nefarious activity in the future. And it brings up the question that you and I have been talking about since ESPN became a reality. Can you have a market-moving reporter work for a brand that is also booking the games? And you could say that Penn is the one booking the games, Matt, not ESPN Bet. I understand that. But ESPN's name is on that. And it wasn't just Adam Schefter. It was also other major, big platform journalists who cover the NFL who were all reporting the same thing. Geno's active. GM John Snyder saying he looks really good. And then when they came out for the final warm-up, reporters were like, I don't see Geno Smith. He's not warming up. He's not even taking snaps. He was never playing. Seahawks made him active for a head fake against the Eagles.
I mean, the easy answer is just don't bet it. Like you don't have to bet it.
Mm-hmm.
There doesn't have to be anything done because you always have the choice as the bettor to just not bet it. The danger is that the more people that say, all right, well, then I just won't bet it, then the more people won't watch it. And the more people that will question the integrity of all of it or will make multiple step leaps the size of the Grand Canyon will go, well, that's fixed because they knew that. And then, the books destroyed everybody because Seattle completed that pass at the end of the game. Drew Lock made a perfect throw to Smith and Jigba, and they knew. Nobody knows. That's all nonsense. But there's no line no more. I've been saying this for years. It's getting worse. It's not getting better. It was a single standalone game on a Monday night. Think anybody had any money on that one?
That's my problem.
At least that one was National Football League game. What about a college basketball game tonight?
I know, but just look watching. But just look at the three prongs to this. All right, and again, not saying that anyone should be going to jail or anyone should be arrested. I'm not saying any of that. But the three prongs, which makes this so unique, is that the NFL is in bed with the sports books. ESPN is in bed with the sports books. The reporters are said now, when ESPN Bet became a reality, they were very loud and clear. No reporter will ever talk to a risk room person. Okay, fine. Doesn't address the fact that your reporter can move markets, can move the very market you're booking. And so his tweet moved numbers. It's clear. You just gave the line history. It moved numbers up and down.
No, hold on. It didn't move anything. People bet it because of that.
That's what I mean. The report comes out, lying. The bets are made based upon what Schefter's tweeting, moving the market.
I mean, people bet that Trump was going to win the election.
I'm not saying who's going to win. I'm not saying who's moving the market. I'm just saying the market moved. There was money bet.
It doesn't mean it's the right side.
Didn't say it was. I'm just saying the market reacted to the report that came out from somebody from ESPN. ESPN has
reacted to the money. You're drawing at two different conclusions. I don't know if anybody bet it because of that.
So like, I guess we're slicing hairs here. You're saying the market is the book. I'm saying the market is when people bet. I'm saying what the market says. The book is not the market. The book is the one taking the bets. They're reacting to where the money's coming in.
Right.
So that's the market. The market is the bettors who see the Schefter tweet are saying, Schefter says he's active.
If you're betting on Adam Schefter's information, you probably shouldn't be betting.
Oh, I disagree with that.
Really?
I mean, this is the point. He has 10.1 million followers on. Where do you think most people get their NFL info from? Like that's they get from the inside.
Guys that bet real money aren't getting it from Adam Schefter. I can tell you that.
Okay, but how much money is real money when it's pro and public money coming in on the same side?
I don't know how many pros are waiting for Adam Schefter text or tweet or whatever
But even if they knew that he was active. Okay. So they knew that he was going to be dressed. Only the Seahawks knew, only Pete Carroll knew whether or not they were going to play Geno Smith. But the fact that he was dressing and he was going to be active, people bet it. People came in and said, okay, it's going to be an over game because Geno's going to play. They like the Seahawks. Okay, wait, let's take the 6. Here comes Geno. Let's get the number all the way down to 3.5. And then it starts to come out that maybe he's just going to be a decoy. It's Drew Lock starting. Here comes the other side coming in. But that's not the point. The point is that you've got 3 prongs. ESPN has the broadcast. They've got a reporter who's issuing information that people are betting on. And you've got ESPN Bet, which is tied to ESPN. Like, we've never seen this before. Like, this is uncharted information that I think the National Football League has to start to set up some parameters as to what they're going to do. I think they now have to come up with, like baseball, there should be a lineup card. Like, here's who's playing. Now, you can change it. The guy takes 1 snap and he's done. He's off the field. That's fine. But like an hour prior to kickoff, you should have to declare who's playing in the game, not just actives. Like, who is going to be the starting quarterback for this football team, and declare it. It's the most important position in sports. And you can just do what the Seahawks did, which is just you play around with it. And people are running around like a chicken with their head cut off, trying to report this as to what people are saying. I mean, John Snyder went on the radio in Seattle on their radio network and said, man, Geno Smith looked really good in warmups. Man, I don't know what's going to happen, but he looked really good. Like, why do you say that? Unless you're trying to get the Eagles' attention.
Because he did look really good. What?
He didn't go through warmups at all once they came back out.
Oh.
He didn't do anything. He
looked really good.
He stood on the sidelines. He was in the initial workups. I know it's his opinion. I mean, and he can have his opinion. It's just when you say it publicly on the radio and then Adam Schefter retweets it and pushes it out there to everybody, it insinuates that he's going to play. No, you're making the leap, but everybody has plausible deniability in this. Well, I didn't say he was going to start. I just said he was active. And that's true. The NFL says, well, look at the team didn't say anything. You reporters are speculating and the media is speculating. Thus, the fans are speculating. We didn't say anything about Geno Smith playing. It's all on you guys. It's like no one's dirty on this. Everyone's clean. Everyone has a way out of this when it comes down to it.
What's the dirty part? That's what I'm just.
Pete Carroll was shady with the whole deal.
The dirty part is you have the biggest microphone and you're booking the games.
Correct. Well, that's
the dirty part.
I don't think it's dirty. I just think there has to be
dirty
rules.
There doesn't have to be any rules. There was never rules before. Why do there have to be rules now?
Because we got into a place where we're now legal before. We're now legal now. We weren't legal before like this.
What?
We weren't legal like this before. We were legal in Nevada. We weren't legal across the country like this. We never had this before. We never had.
But like, this is what Nevada books have been saying for 50 years.
Right, but no one.
Nobody cares.
No one cares.
Oh, nobody cared.
Yeah, right.
Oh, nobody cared.
Well, that's the problem.
Now they care because they book games in New York and New Jersey now.
Correct.
And Florida's open.
Correct.
Oh, in Pennsylvania. Oh,
New Jersey.
Now they care. Now they
Connecticut,
care.
Mass. No, it's not that now that they care. I'm saying there is a new world that we live in. And because of that, I think there should be some real conversations to be had because no one is talking about this today. All you're hearing is Drew Lock this, Eagles defense that,
Nobody
Matt Patricia
cares.
this.
It's the gamblers only. I told you 20% of the country gambles. Maybe on sports.
You are going to be either proven right or wrong on that because is a report out today that says that female gambling is way up. Okay? That
Who wrote it?
What? It's on Sports Handle. It's
Who
not
wrote
even
it?
Our guys, people that we know, people that we respect,
Okay.
people that we have all on the show are talking about this. This is where I'm not saying it's true or not true. I'm just saying there are more people coming to the market ever before. And what's the number? How are we tracking it? That's all to be determined down the line.
Right.
But
of course,
gamblers are more. There's more gamblers out there now than there ever has been before.
More because it's legal.
Right.
Yeah.
So people are learning these things and they're bringing these things up and they're going, wait a second. That just looked a little bit crooked. Like, why did that happen? Why did that go down that way? And is anyone going to explain who got what right and wrong. If I'm Adam Schefter, I'm furious today about what I was being told and what went on.
Why?
Because you're made out to look like you didn't know what you were saying.
He doesn't care.
Well, all right. I would disagree with that because his whole brand is credibility. So I disagree. Yeah. Ian Rappaport, Adrian Wojnarowski, Adam Schefter, their whole brand is credibility. You have to trust what they're doing. And when they get it wrong, it's really bad. We've seen it with the draft. Woj moved markets with the draft. He was wrong.
Didn't change one thing.
Correct. But that was the NBA draft, not a game. You even said that. This is not, imagine this was a game. This is a game. This is a standalone Monday Night Football game this happened in.
With a lot more handle than the draft.
So,
and again,
I'm not saying anything's going to change. I'm just saying these conversations need to be talked about broadly. And where are we going to be and how are we going to handle the dissemination of information? Because the problem is somebody else knew. Somebody in the organization knew. The public didn't know. Inside the Seahawks, they knew. And it wasn't reported properly. On purpose, mind you. They fed that information on purpose.
Reported in life wrong every day.
You conflate things that I'm not talking about.
You
real
conflate
life.
things. You cater the argument for
No,
however you want.
You can't.
What are you talking about?
Because you're bringing
the media is full of shit more often than it's not.
I think that's wrong. I think that's a
I
very.
think it's wrong too.
It's a very
what
2020
are we do about that.
It's a very 2020 idea. I don't believe the media is wrong most of the times. No, I do not. I do not believe there's a massive agenda with the media to report things wrong. I don't believe that. I never have. I've committed my life to this. Dave, I'm 20 plus years into this with journalism. Okay. Yeah. I've committed my life to this. I don't agree with that at all. I do not believe in the conspiracy theory tin hat nonsense that there's some puppet master controlling the narrative across everything across the world.
No.
Okay. I don't believe that.
Things are reported completely not true.
But that's human nature. Okay. You're never going to be 100%.
So that's this. Why is sports
because
different?
This is involving money and involving ESPN with three prongs. I just told you about.
Financial reporting is
you
legit?
Go to jail for lying to that, though. There's the SEC. You want to create a football SEC or a gambling SEC? I'm here for it. I'm here for it.
Who's going to do that?
I'm here. You could do it. Someone could do it. People who've been in the industry 25 years could do it. I'm totally fine with setting up people in the know to track things. And I'm not talking about integrity monitors. I'm talking about people who actually can have legal backing to put people in jail. Okay. Not some fluffy thing that you get a slap on the wrist. An SEC that has the teeth to go in and pull your bank records that can put you in jail for doing things or reporting things incorrectly. I am here for it. You want to set that up? Let's go.
I think it's a very noble idea that has no legs.
Okay.
No one's going to do that.
Unfortunately, I hope one day we get to the point where we do, but I think you're right. I don't think they ever will because they don't understand it. I don't think they want to go through the whole process.
I don't know if they want to understand.
Fair. It's easier to be ignorant to it. Right. And just go, I don't know. Like it was just,
but I mean, I'm talking about like life stuff, the same exact whatever incident can be reported totally different on CNN versus Fox News, right or wrong.
I don't like to live in that part of the world on purpose.
Okay, but that's what I'm talking about when I'm talking about something very basic
right now. Like I try hard to live in the toy department. I'm living in the toy department for a reason. If I wanted to live if I wanted to live in the real world on this, I would. I don't want to.
Well, this is media. This is media. These are big media things that have way more listeners, way bigger platforms than you and I will ever have.
Right, but
that's the next
I don't
step.
want to talk about Hamas versus Israel. Okay, I don't want to get into that. I don't want to get into reporting as I'm talking about sports. So that's the whole point of this. If you want to get into media, it's a whole different conversation about who is in charge of what and how does someone on Fox News say something that could be completely wrong versus CNN or MSNBC or vice versa.
Right, but that's what I'm saying. We could see the same thing.
I disagree with that.
See it reported completely different.
Then what you're saying is that there are bought and paid for journalists who say things reporting, not talking heads, are reporting things in ways that are not correct. And I think that gets exposed pretty fast if that's true. It's more difficult to do it in sports than it is to do it in the real world.
Is it?
Yeah. It's more difficult because there's not party lines. Like there's Cowboy fans and Eagle fans, but there's football fans.
That's the beauty of sports, is that you can always settle it on the field.
Right. I don't believe there is that demarcation of I'm wearing a D versus wearing an R, that I see things through a certain lens. I don't think that's true. I think if you're talking Eagles versus Cowboys, okay, fine. But a Niner fan watches the game and says, that's what happened, guys. Like, that's how I see it. That was that play. Or that report comes out and a Niners reporter will blow it up saying, look, this is just not correct. He never did this or he never did that. So I stay away from that as much as I can, because right now the world is as fucked as it ever has been when it comes to arguing, and people are losing their jobs left and right because they're on one side of that issue and that wrong side of that issue. They're pulling down flags. Kid at my daughter's school got fired, pulled down a flag in his room. They fired him. So like, it's a
teacher.
Yeah. So
wow.
it's a bad, right now it's a bad spot. The country is in a bad spot for a lot of things. And I just don't want to live there. So like,
that's what it's at. I mean, sports is not going to get more regulated. Why would it?
Money is always the driving force. It always is always about the dollar.
As long as people are watching the games, they don't care if they're betting on them or not. The problem, what the books can't see, is as soon as the people question whether talking about the games and booking the games behind the other side, behind the other door, people are going to go, you know what? I'm not betting with them. I'm not going to bet with them. I don't want to bet with them.
I mean, I agree, but again, not to say every report's correct, but ESPN Bet is going through explosive growth right now. Explosive growth.
Yeah.
I mean, it is the fastest sports book on the planet at the moment for downloads and usage. People are interested. They're checking it out, and it's following like I thought it would. You've got the McDonald's and the Burger King. You've got the biggest brand. People just recognize it and they go, oh, it's legal. ESPN. Oh, I know that. I trust them. I'm going to go bet with them. Now it might be $5. It's catering to the squarest of the square, but that is what's going to make them money. That's what's going to make them grow really fast, is new gamblers who want to be on there. So I just think we need to pay attention. I don't think anyone's at fault for what happened except Pete Carroll. I do think Pete Carroll's at fault for what happened, but I think it was just him being coy and want to be Belichick 2.0. And,
what is Pete Carroll's obligation? What do you think he's at?
There isn't one. There is not. There needs to be one. That's my point. You're right. There is no obligation. I think there should be one. There should be an obligation to declare your starting quarterback, even if that quarterback takes one snap before the game. We shouldn't be waiting for Joe Buck, who, by the way, wrote his script. I don't know what time he writes his script, but in his script, he said starter, not Geno Smith, was Drew Lock. Drew Lock making his second start and what goes on and give his spiel. Don't know when he wrote that, but he wrote that prior to Drew Lock being out there for warmups. So when did Joe Buck know? I don't know. That would be an interesting question to find out. But he knew before the game and he knew before the audience.
Guys, put it in the chat. And again, welcome. If you're here, thank you for being here. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. Leave a comment after you're done watching after the show about anything. Yesterday, we had people put in prediction final scores of the game. Everyone had Philly. So I don't know if that's an indicator or what. But put in there whether you have ESPN Bet, yes or no. If you've tried it, if you've downloaded it. We don't have it available here in Nevada, so I have not. But I have all the other apps. Just curious, because a lot of people that had it, the download numbers are big because, you had to convert over if you had, Barstool. So everyone that they had a built-in base audience of people that
they aren't counting those as downloads, are they?
Yeah.
People. Oh,
yes.
Oh,
yes.
Okay.
Okay. So you have to always ask how the polls are done. And you always have to ask how the
You're
numbers
sure
are
about that?
accumulated.
You're not new,
100%.
so not new accounts.
100%.
Okay,
That
because I
counts
read
as a new download. Because
no
it's-
new download. I'm talking about new accounts. Downloads. I don't care about download. I'm talking about accounts. New accounts set up.
Downloads.
Well, downloads don't mean anything. You can download whatever you want. I have apps I've downloaded and never used, so I don't care about a download.
Another good point.
I care about new accounts, and the new account number. The numbers I'm looking at are new accounts being opened at ESPN Bet, and it's really high.
Yes,
really, really high. The 1 million downloads for ESPN, I could care less about that. People want to check it out because it's new and it's something cool to toy or tool around with.
Right.
If I never bet with it, who cares whether I have it on my phone or not?
Right.
But new downloads, or new accounts is what I care about, and new handle, new bets being placed. That's the thing that I'm watching for ESPN, which is high, mind you.
They gave away a lot of bonus money too. That's counting.
They still are 100%. They still are doing the bet, the bonus bets for free, whatever.
Right. And I'm not saying I'm rooting against any of them. I'm just saying you have to tell the truth in the numbers.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what a lot of people may or may not be doing to a lot of people to try to influence stock prices for different things for these companies. And a lot of, people are trying to improve their value. So, when 2024 comes, they can capitalize on increased value, number of downloads, users, and everything like that.
Oh, well
all
done.
I have for us is our own stuff right here. Which, by the way, thanks Sonic for this.
Yeah, it's cool. And Sonic said that the bonus bet play was only one-time playthrough, and then you converts to real cash. That's pretty good. If that's true, I've never used it. That's pretty good. If it's one-time rollover to turn into real money, that's pretty good.
On ESPN Bet?
Yeah, at least in Arizona where he is.
Yeah, you couldn't pull it out until you did about a 25 times rollover, though. So just be aware.
How would it convert to real cash and not let you pull it out? How would they know what money is what? Wouldn't that confuse it? Wouldn't that be convoluted? So then all of your money was locked up for 25 times?
Great questions.
Ooh.
Call customer service. They'll help you.
Yikes. That's not good if that's what they were doing. I don't know. Sonic, is that true? Have you tried to pull any money out? So they give free casino spins like water. Well, yes, football guy, you're right. I mean, that's the whole point of all of this is the Trojan horse to get you to the iCasino. We've known that for a long time.
Tomasek said he's only had to do one-time rollover too. So if you can take it out, take it out. That's great.
That's unbelievable. That's good. I'll give Penn credit for that. That's pretty good. No gift. Interesting. According to Otto, they don't offer gift. And yes, Iran Sean, it is Barstool reskinned. That's exactly the truth. It's still the same. It's the same. It's just rebranded. Right. If you have a Barstool, if you've been using Barstool, it's the same. I mean, it's just ESPN Bet repurposed, but for new people,
that mint green, it's nice.
For new people, they would not know that though. Like if new people come in, they would have no idea that actually was going on,
right?
And how that was going. So it's just something that I think we should be watching and talking about. And as an industry, what do we want? How do we want it done? And as more and more people come in, because I do believe that story that was on Sports Handle last week with the lawyers who are believing they will win a class action lawsuit one day about the injury report for the NFL. I think that's real. I think there are lawyers who are literally, with cases like this, there are lawyers who are taking notes, screenshots, taking different timestamps and laying out cases to go to court against the NFL to say they are wronging gamblers, a class action lawsuit against the NFL for the way they do injury reports and start and stop, and start active and starting these reports about quarterbacks. Maybe they lose, but they think they got a case. And I mean, if I'm the NFL, I would want to get in front of that. If you want to get in front of CTE lawsuits in 30 years, this one's a bit more now. This is like right now.
And they'll pay them to just go away.
Oh, how many gamblers though? If you have a class action lawsuit with like 100,000 gamblers signing up to go on to it, you write them all a check.
Whatever the figure is. I don't know. They'll make it go away now. If they can.
Gonna have to with how much money they've invested in. If it ever comes to a courtroom.
If they could get anybody to kind of come together and agree to go in a class action lawsuit like that. I think
it would be pretty easy. I get asked to go into class action lawsuits like with my cell phone all the time. Just like sign up. Do you want to be part of this lawsuit? Like,
do you ever do it?
think one time I did it and a check for $5.50 showed up in my mailbox.
$5.50.
Yeah. So
how much the lawyers made on that?
Oh, a lot more than $5.50.
Right.
That's for sure. It was some data hack thing with my cell phone that, that I had used. I forget. I was like, oh yeah, I remember that. I'll do this. And a check showed up like 2 months later in my mailbox for $5.50. I was like, yeah, I got a cup of coffee out of it. That's good. I appreciate it. Awesome. All right. To what happened on the field. The Eagles blew a fourth quarter lead. Drew Lock game-winning drive for Seattle. And there's a whole lot of talk about Matt Patricia and what happened with that defense going on right now. I mean, is it right to get on the Eagle defense? Because they played pretty well last night, I thought.
It was 17-13 with 30 seconds to go.
Right.
I mean, the game was middled. I kept thinking the whole time I'm watching, I'm like, this was a masterclass. The guys on the other side of the counter middled this thing. They got this thing down to 3, took it all the way up to 6, 5.5. It's going to fall 4. Oh, man, am I glad I'm not in the book. And then Lock. Boom. Smith and Jigba. Bam.
Well, the first catch was DK on the sidelines to set it up.
How did he catch that ball?
That catch was unbelievable.
I don't know how he caught that ball.
I give Drew Lock. I mean, I didn't give him a lick of a shot to do that. I was like, there's no way this guy's doing that. But the secondary, and this is, Newbie's been saying this for, I don't know. He's been one of the louder guys on Twitter saying the Eagles secondary sucks, guys. And he's an Eagle fan. He's been like, the secondary is really, really bad.
Yep.
And you saw it last night.
Yep.
I mean,
you did.
Too wide. I mean, how do you let guys? I mean, DK's DK. I get that catch was unbelievable, but how do you get beat on that with Smith and Jigba? You can't get beat to the pylon like that.
I mean, the Eagles got the Giants this week. It's again, are they frauds?
This is what everyone's calling them this morning. I don't know if I agree with it. I mean, I saw so many people say the Eagles are 10-3 going into this game. They have by far the easiest schedule of all the teams that are 11-4 and 10-3. They had like the 15th toughest schedule in the NFL over the final 4 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
So they lose a tough game at Seattle on Monday night with a team that had their backs against the wall that had to win to save their season. Eagles are in the playoffs. There's no question about that.
Put this in the poll. This will be our first poll of the day. When you watch the show, guys, and if you're new to it and you're on one of the other threads,
platforms,
feeds, whatever you want to call platforms, not the YouTube one. If you get in the YouTube, we ask these questions during the show. And you can vote and you see the poll instantaneous results. And Matt and I neither one of us are smart enough. Plus we have no desire to alter the actual results. So you get the actual true numbers right there every single day. Are the Eagles frauds? Yes or no? We'll see what the people think.
My God.
I think we'll get more votes for yes than no.
Because we have fans of like if this was in Philadelphia, like if John Kincaid in Philly was being asked that question, what do you think he would say? He's not going to say yes.
Well, I don't even know, what is a fraud definition? Like
they are not an actual Super Bowl contending team.
They're not.
That's the question. I think they are. But there are numerous people who are
everything they've done up to this point completely dismiss
because of who they played and because they were, they were hot and that the defense. I mean, everyone's calling the decision to have Matt Patricia call plays on defense for a 10-3 football team a massive overreaction by Nick Sirianni. After the game, he owned it. He said, "That's my call. I made the decision to have Matt Patricia call the plays. So blame me. If you don't like what happened with the defense, it didn't change the defense. Blame me." That's what people are saying. That's what I don't think they are.
I think the defense played horrifically.
No, I thought the defense played well, personally. I thought the defense up to that last drive played really well. But then why did Jalen Hurts throw that ball down the sidelines when all you need is a field goal? You're down 20-17. And the still shot everyone's pointing out is he had Gainwell to his left with about 20 yards of green grass.
He didn't see him, huh?
he was looking right. He looked right.
Yeah.
If he was looking left, if he
AJ.
came off of it and said, "Okay, where are you?" Gainwell would have gotten to field goal range. Game probably could have gone over because you could have gotten a touchdown there to have it fall 46. But in overtime. But I was surprised when that ball got released by Jalen Hurts. He did that in college. He got like hero syndrome. When he left Alabama and he went to Oklahoma, he oftentimes would try to put the cape on and just go and make it like a throw that he didn't need to make. Like, unbelievable play if it happens, but why not take the easy check down? Like, just make the simple play. Don't make the really difficult play. And when he left Bama, he had something to prove. And I felt like that was old Jalen Hurts with something to prove to everybody that I can do this because Locke just did this. I can go do it too.
Huh.
And that pickoff, that interception was incredible.
Yeah, I thought when he let it go, I thought he must be open.
Mm-hmm.
There's not, like, they can't be. It can't be. That's a one-on-one. He's throwing it over the guy's head, or he got him. Excuse me. Double coverage. Looked like interference.
Really?
Well, I thought the guy took AJ, just pushed him, didn't turn his head, just went like this. Didn't matter because the safety cut in front of him and picked the ball off, but I don't know. Again, I don't know what interference is anymore.
Right.
So I really.
Yeah, I didn't think it was interference. I just couldn't believe that the safety got both feet down. I was like, there's no way that's a pick. Like, there's no way. And then I'm still not positive the right toe hit, but it looked close enough and they ruled it a pick. So it was just the call stood. But there was just no need to make that throw. Like, there was just no need to force the ball down the field like that because you need a field goal. I mean, Jake Elliott can kick a 60-yard field goal. He's got a cannon for a leg.
Right.
Like, you don't need to, like, you have one of the best kickers of all time. Let the guy do his job. Like, you don't need that. You need 15 yards. You didn't need 40. You need 15. There was no benefit for touchdown. A touchdown wouldn't have mattered. I mean, we would have won the game. You got a touchdown, but there's no guarantee that you would have scored a touchdown even if you complete that ball. There's no guarantee you even have enough time to score a touchdown.
Right.
So I don't know why that throw was made. It was confusing. If I was answering this question, no, I don't think the Eagles are frauds.
I mean, they're going to win 2 of 3 of the games left, if not all 3. They're beating the Giants at home, and they're going to beat the Cardinals most likely at home. If they don't, they got big problems, and then maybe we can start throwing around these frauds words and all this other stuff. Otherwise, they're going to beat a 2 seed in the NFC. Is the 2 seed in the NFC a 0-chance threat to win the NFC?
Well, let's look at the picture because I found this on X and it's pretty cool. It's a little eye jarring. I apologize, but I think it's worth putting up. That's the AFC. Here's the NFC. So
Look
here,
at this thing. Holy crap!
This is thanks
to green checks,
our wins,
and red X's, which is the theme of social media. X, Twitter especially.
But I want to point out that he put the bye week as a guy sleeping, which I thought was really funny.
Genius.
But this
Who did this? Let's give him credit.
At RNBWCV. He's a producer, I believe, at ESPN who did this.
Great job.
So that's
RNBWCV. Thank you.
That's his Twitter account right there beside week.
RNBWCV. Thank you. Yes.
So here's the Eagles currently occupying the 5 seed where they play Giants, Cardinals at the Giants. So you're thinking they end up 13-4.
I think at worst 12-5, but yes, likely to be 13-4. Favored in all 3 games.
So Dallas goes at Miami, home for Detroit, at Washington. They are also 10-4, currently with the tiebreaker over Dallas, but they won't over Philly, but that won't exist because of their schedule and their record against the division at the end. If they beat the Giants twice, all the tiebreakers would go to the Eagles over the Cowboys. Yeah. Right. What did the Cowboys wind up with?
At best, wait, they got Miami, they got Detroit, and then who?
Washington. Mm-hmm.
I mean, could they win all 3 of those games? I guess 2 of them on the road. They've been so bad on the road.
So San Francisco is 11-3 with a 1-game lead on both for the 1 seed.
Yep.
They've won 6 games in a row since their bye. Baltimore at Washington, home for the Rams.
Baltimore, then where?
At Washington, home for the Rams.
Oh, my. Okay.
So what do they wind up?
Wow. They should win all 3 too.
Because the Lions are the team that we're kind of forgetting about. Like when I was looking at this, I was like, the Lions are 10-4.
Right.
No one's talking about the Lions for the 1 seed.
No.
And they play at Minnesota, at Dallas, home for Minnesota. So like if the Niners lose to Baltimore at home, which is possible, okay, I'm not saying it's going to happen, but it's possible.
Right.
If they beat Washington and they probably go 2-1. So
the people are a big fan of this chart. Just so you know,
it's a good chart. It's really wild.
This.
Yeah,
this is great.
So you've got Baltimore, Washington, and the Rams. So most likely they're going to wind up 13-4, right? Niners at worst.
Yes, worst.
So they're 13-4. Cowboys are going to go what? 12-5.
Yeah.
But they could go 13-4, and the Eagles could go 13-4, but the Lions could go 13-4. And if they go 13-4, they will have beaten the Cowboys to knock out one of their competitors for the 1 seed. I just think we're a little quick to be like Detroit. See you later. Like Detroit's live for the 1 seed. We're all so quickly saying the Niners, and I'll give it to you. I think the Niners are the best team in football, and I do think they have the best shot at going here to Vegas to be here, but I mean, in sports, you got to play it out. And the Ravens are going to have something to say about this on Christmas Day, right? Or Christmas Eve?
Christmas Day.
Christmas night, yeah. Niners, Ravens, Christmas night.
Yes.
Monster game. Monster. I don't know. The more I look at that chart, the more I'm like, we're just not talking about the Lions enough. We're just kind of like writing them off.
Lions at home are going to be tough. If the Lions got to go outside to Philly, they could win 1. If the Lions got to go down to Tampa, they won't have to go to Tampa. They have a better record at Tampa. Where would else they would have to go? San Francisco. That's it. Right now, they'll be the 3 seed. So they play home until they have to play one of those other 2. Can they go on the road and beat them both?
No.
No?
No.
You just said you were not talking about.
I'm talking about the 1 seed. I'm not talking about going to the Super Bowl now. I'm talking about the 1 seed. I don't think the Lions are legitimate championship contenders. I don't. But
if they get the 1 seed, are they?
Yeah, I mean, they will be, yes. But we've seen, I mean, look, top seeds get beat all the time in tournaments, but it's more beneficial for them. It makes it a lot more difficult for them. I think the Niners can go to Detroit and win, though.
The Niners can go to, I think, multiple teams can go to Detroit and win.
Eagles, I think, could. I don't think Dallas can.
Detroit has to go to Dallas.
If Dallas wins the division.
No, in 2 weeks.
Oh, right. Yeah. Right. And that's gonna be an unbelievable football game. That in week 17 is an NFL dream. Detroit at Dallas with that much on the line.
Right.
Huge. That's a absolute New Year's Day. I think it's either New Year's Day or New Year's Eve, one of the two. But Eve, that is a absolute barn burner of a game. I mean, that whole week, on the 30th, you get both playoff games. On the 31st, you get a full card, and on the 1st, you get 3 games for the NFL. Right, the first got 3 games. That's 3 days of just unbelievable football.
The Eagles frauds, no, so far as leading the poll.
I agree. Fair.
Joel Onler came in and said the Lions defense isn't that great on the back end.
I would agree. They give up points.
Roger Long said the Lions secondary is worse than Phillies.
Fair. Injuries too. Same conversation, same graphic, different conference. AFC. This is a little more cut and dry. There's only 2 teams really in the running for the 1 seed. Ravens.
What's that plus minus? How many places and stuff they gained and lost the past week? Oh,
I believe that's correct.
yeah, that -4 for Pittsburgh stinks.
So you've got the Colts who occupy the 7 seed, Bengals who occupy the 6 seed. They've jumped up 4 spots.
Yeah.
They've got Pittsburgh on the road, Chiefs on the road, and Cleveland at home.
Gauntlet.
It feels like they're going to lose out.
Oh, by the way, Detroit Dallas is on Saturday,
The
December
31st?
30th.
On the 30th?
It's on Saturday.
Is that a standalone game?
Yes.
Up against the college football playoffs?
No.
Yeah, the football playoffs are on the 30th.
Talking about they're on the 1st.
Wait a second.
Rose Bowl game and everything's on the 1st. Monday the 1st.
Hold on. I swore that the championship games are on the 30th.
No.
Hold on. Because let's see. Okay, you're right. Sorry. The Georgia Florida State game's on the 30th and Penn State plays on the 30th. Okay,
Right.
that's why I thought that. The first is Alabama. Okay, yeah, you're right. The first on
There's
that
2
Monday.
games on the 1st.
Well, actually, there's 4 games.
I mean, the playoff games.
Yeah.
But Fiesta
That's all.
Bowl's in the morning, Citrus Bowl's in the morning.
The ReliaQuest Bowl.
That's ReliaQuest, right?
ReliaQuest Bowl.
Yeah.
Wisconsin LSU. That's
Yeah.
the first game of the day. And then Liberty, Oregon in the Fiesta Bowl, Iowa, Tennessee in the Citrus Bowl, then Bama, Michigan, and then Texas, Washington is the college football. The Georgia, Florida State game is that Saturday. Okay. So there's a Saturday game, a Sunday game, and a Monday game. No Thursday night football, right?
What, that week?
Yeah. You got Saturday, Sunday, Monday. There must be no Thursday night football, right?
Hold on. I wasn't looking at the schedule.
Let's see.
Let's see. NFL.
Let me see.
Oh, Thursday the 28th. There's
There
the
is.
Jets and the
Wow.
Browns.
That is a lot of football. The NFL is completely
Detroit and
devouring.
Dallas is on Saturday. Sunday, the full card. No games
There's
Monday.
no games on Monday. That's what
Right.
it is. Okay, there's no
Yeah, no
Monday night
games
game
Monday.
then.
Yeah.
Well, that's interesting. So they clear the deck for college football because ESPN's got it. Okay, that's why. That makes sense.
Right.
They don't want to go up against it. Okay, that makes sense. And then on the week 17, all we do is play Sunday. There's no Thursday. There's no Monday.
Yes.
January 7th is the entire league plays
Correct.
on Sunday.
Correct.
So, I mean, the AFC, let me throw it back up again because
Yeah, we need to see this. Claire check. I'm wearing a Lions hat. Relax. He gets these Lions people get up. Don't get upset, Joe. I'm rooting for the Lions. It'll
no
be
hate.
fun.
I mean,
If the Lions come here, it would be unbelievable. if the
tell me what the
Lions-
Broncos record is at the end of the year. Patriots, Chargers at home, at the Raiders.
Patriots, Chargers at home, and then who?
Vegas on the road.
So they win 2 minimum, 9 and 8.
I think they can win all 3.
They can win all 3.
So they go 10-7. What is the Steelers' final record? Cincinnati
They're done.
at Seattle at
7 and
Baltimore.
10.
7-10. Oh my, don't tell me that. That's going to make me cry.
Miserable.
Buffalo's 8-6 at the Chargers, home for the
Yeah.
Patriots at Miami.
10-7 at worst. At worst, 10-7.
I think they're going. I think they're winning out. So they'll be. I think they're going to go 11-6. What did the Texans wind up? Cleveland, Tennessee at Indy to end the year for the Texans. What a big game this is versus Cleveland.
Yeah.
What a big game this is for the Texans.
They win 2 more.
I don't know.
10-7.
A part of me feels like they're going 1-2.
Oh,
They're going to end 9-8,
okay.
which is pretty much that's still way above what we thought they were going to wind up. But I don't think the Texans are making the playoffs. But the Colts at Atlanta, home for Vegas, home for Houston. What do the Colts wind up? What's their record?
Colts. Wow. What are their games?
At Atlanta, Dome,
Okay.
home for Vegas, home for Houston. They don't play outdoors again.
They're 8-6 right now. Wow.
Yep.
Put that in the chat. Put that. Watch the boys go nuts here. We got a lot of people in Indiana watching the show. What's the Colts' final record? Is it 9-8? 10-7? Or dare I say, they're not winning all three, but is it 8-9? Can they lose all three?
Oh, I guess I have to add 0. I was gonna do 1, 2. I was gonna do 1, 2, 3, but then I gotta add 0.
Right.
I didn't think that they would win 0, but I gotta put it, I guess, for an option. So
How many more games did the Colts win?
1, 2, 3, or 0.
At Atlanta, home for who?
Vegas. At Houston.
My vote is in.
2. Atlanta at home is a tricky one. That's a tricky game. Because just not to keep on putting these up, but like, look at for Atlanta, okay? They're 6-8. Indy, at Chicago, at New Orleans. Like, they could go 9-8. They're going to go on the road twice and beat Chicago outdoors, which is not going to be easy, but they can run the ball. And then at New Orleans could be a monster game for them. And look, they're on the outside looking in, but the Rams play the Saints, at the Giants, and at the 49ers.
Oh, man.
Rams can go 0-3. Seahawks have got at the Titans, home for the Steelers, and at Arizona. Like, it's not crazy. I asked you this last night. I'm going to ask you it here. Can you get behind the Cleveland Browns to win the AFC? Or at least to get to the AFC Championship game?
Depending on the path, yeah, they can. Absolutely, they can. They get a good first-round matchup.
Cleveland right now is 9-5 at Houston.
So they go play the AFC South winner.
If they're the 5 seed, right? They'd play Jackson. They would play Jacksonville if it ended right now, they'd play Jacksonville on the road. Which is not, it's a tough game. I'm not going to disrespect Emerson's team that hard.
Oh, yeah.
I think it's a game they can win.
You see Emerson, by the way, he's down in Florida. He's been on vacation all week.
Yeah, a little vacation.
All right.
It's
funny though, because you can see him in the commercials in between the games.
Right. Taping an amazing
teleporter or something.
55-1, the Browns to win the Super Bowl right now. 55-1.
Book's trying to offset some of that money. That's a good price.
And
they're going to have 3 road games to get there.
But if you paint the picture, right, they get to the AFC title game, you can hedge off.
You're good.
You can hedge off
one game. You're legit.
Yeah, you can hedge
got
off
options.
55-1. You start hedging off of it. I don't know. I looked at it. I was like, man alive, 55-1. Like,
wow, we got everything from the Colts win out.
Wow.
To horsepower, all this other stuff. Oh boy, you guys are unbelievable. To guy named like Brandon Robert Cazella said the Colts don't even make the playoffs.
Oh.
This is exactly what they wanted. You think anybody wants to worry about the injuries, Perrault, the injury reports, who's playing quarterback? Give me 12 teams alive going into the last 3 weeks of the season.
Colts are going to go 0-3 at Atlanta, home for Vegas, and home for Houston. They're going 0-3 with that schedule. I have a hard time seeing that.
Yeah, that's a tough spot.
I have a hard time seeing them losing
Dave's
out.
Daily Picks said to me, Dave, check the scoreboard. I saw the scoreboard. The Colts won. That's fine.
Convincingly.
They did. They kicked the Steelers' ass.
Convincingly. It was kind of shocking, to be quite honest.
I was on a good medication too. Watching it.
You're like, wait, man, what is that?
Tried to close my eyes. I kept waking up. Was it? You score yet? No.
All right. One more NFL story, and then we'll get to some other things going on in the world. Do you have any issue with what's going on with Tommy Cutlets at the moment?
Well, I asked you this yesterday. I don't understand what they're going after him in the media a little bit, making sure that everybody knows all the business, putting all the business right out there. I don't know about everybody putting everybody's business out there. Cutlets is trying to get paid for appearances.
Yeah, I guess. You don't have any problem with him going back on his word, agreeing to an appearance for a certain price, and then going back and saying, I'm more popular now.
Is that what he did?
Yeah. And he wants twice as much money now. He was initially $10,000 an appearance. And
to do what? What does that require? What do you get for the 10 dimes?
Shake hands, kiss babies.
How long is he there? This was at a pizza place.
Yeah. Couple
of hours. He was going to be there for 2 hours and sign autographs or something, or give away T-shirts or some nonsense. For 10 dimes.
Yeah.
2 hours work. Is that what the going rate is?
I mean, our friend and resident Giants fan has a slight issue with Tommy at the moment. This is happening today in East Hanover, New Jersey.
Okay.
You can go and meet Tommy Cutlets. It's $225 for a 1-hour VIP package to show up. You want a picture? It's $75. Small says 225. Laugh her bleeping ass off.
Wow.
To pay to meet the one Tommy Cutlets DeVito.
Man, oh man.
So that's where the 10 dimes to 20 dimes comes in, because if you sell 100 of these VIP packages, it's a pretty good day at the office. You get a VIP swag bag, you get 15% off, go buy gear, one parent and one person under 18 to come on in, only 100 available, I guess. But if you just want a picture, 100 are available for that, for 2 people per family, for $75 photos to come on in to be taking a picture with a guy who will be literally irrelevant in 6 months.
New York's a different place.
No, it's not. I've seen that in New England. I've seen that a ton. I've seen that. I mean, I remember I did an event with Tim Thomas after the Bruins won the Stanley Cup. It was $300 a picture, I think, to take a picture with Tim Thomas. So, I mean, this has just been a little bit par for the course, except that you could almost explain it because he's like Stanley Cup winning goaltender.
I was going to say, hold on. He got his name on the cup. He was the goalie for all the games.
Who stood on his fucking head.
He was unbelievable.
A month and a half, who took the Bruins to the cup. So you kind of understood that was a justifiable expense for some people. Say, okay, it's Tim Thomas. And it was right in the middle of I don't know if you remember the whole controversy with him and stuff that he was spewing on the internet. So it was right in the middle of all of that. So it was hyper. There were so many media members there because of what he wrote. That's back when remember Facebook, kids? That's when Facebook was a thing, because Thomas was writing his full conspiratorial diatribes on Facebook in 2011, right? Yeah, 2011. And so I was at an event in New Hampshire with Tim Thomas for that. But so I've seen it before, but this is Tommy Cutlets, $225. Kind of expensive.
I don't know. There's zero parallel between Tim Thomas and Tommy Cutlets. And let's just make that perfectly clear.
Fair.
Number 2, this feels like a Vegas hustle. This feels like one of these things where we see all the time. I feel like my radar has been up for 2 decades living here, because I got here as someone from the outside questioning everything, going, why do they keep asking these people for this money? This costs money. You talked about taking pictures with people with, very promiscuous outfits on the strip and all that other stuff. Be very careful of scantily clad.
Because they turn mean real
they
quick.
Smile, say, hey, where you from? Hi, I'm from Saginaw, Michigan. Really? I love the Lions.
Yeah.
Come on over here. Take a picture with me, honey.
It's free. And then
they don't say that at first. They just say, "Come on, take a picture. Do you have Facebook? You want to post a picture with us? Come here." And they take a picture. And then you take the picture and they go, "All right, that's like $50. What? Yeah, that's you got to charge. We get charged for $50 the pictures."
And then you say no, and then they follow you, and they yell at you, and they call you names, and they make a scene, and you pay them to shut them up.
It's a tough scene. And I think if you showed up for the pizza and to meet Tommy Cutlets, you pay how much? That's a lot of money, Perrault.
200, yeah, for a picture or for a shaking of a guy's hand. Yes, it's a lot of money. That's absolutely.
Did you ever do that?
Do what?
Did you ever go to one of these things as a paying customer and
No.
pay to take a picture or get someone's autograph? Ever?
No. I mean, that wasn't me.
Never in my life.
Yeah, well, that wasn't
like
what I'm not against anyone who does it.
Right.
That never was. I'm not a jersey guy. I'm not someone who I don't necessarily. I have some memorabilia. I have some signed stuff, but like I never really jumped up and down about that stuff. I liked meeting the person or having a conversation with the person, but I wasn't a card collector. I wasn't an autograph collector. I preferred to kind of like, be around the person or talk to them. That was like my own thing. And then obviously camera phones became a thing and now everyone wants pictures.
Right.
So I'd prefer a picture with somebody than I would having, an autographed or something from them. But, if there's pieces of memorabilia for like, if I was at a game in which a player had an amazing game and he gave me his cleat and he signed the cleat, that would be cool. Like I would want that. Like that's game used stuff would be more my bag to kind of get into. But it's tough when Tommy tells a pizzeria $10K, then he doubled it. And then they go to social media and say, no, Tommy DeVito will not be here this Tuesday as planned. After last week's win, we received word from his agent that his appearance fee would be doubling from $10K to $20. We're a small family-run business and decided $20,000 was a bit steep for 2 hours. Apologies to anybody who had already purchased a ticket. Like, that's a bad look.
You get the money back?
That's a bad look.
Yeah.
Well, no, he gets the $10K when he shows up. They give him the check when he shows. They don't give it to him ahead of time.
No, but he's not coming now.
Right.
So they already sold the pizza place, sold tickets.
Right.
To
But
people.
you say you'll get your money back. They're giving the money back, but it's still, okay. I mean, Tommy, go do the deal, man. Like, what are you doing? Like in 6 months, no one's paying you $10K for anything. So like, go.
He's not going to be the starter next year.
Not in my opinion. I mean, I may be wrong. I've been wrong plenty, but I don't believe Tommy DeVito will be the starting quarterback for the New York Giants past this season.
I did not watch the game, but I did see the highlights. They went like this. The Saints did after they did everything.
They beat the hell out of them.
Like they sacked them and they went like this. They scored a touchdown. Somebody went like this. Like you have to be careful when you do that stuff. You have to know it's coming back. So one, you have to know that's coming. Two, I think if you agree to it, you just do it and you go, I made 10 dimes. Okay. Like be happy you made 10 dimes for 2 hours.
Right.
And people were coming out, if that's what you told them you were going to do. There's people that do it for free. There's people that go to these fan fests for different things, different reasons, not particularly to get an autograph. They just want to see human beings like you. They want to meet them. I remember being a little kid and going to a Penguin one when I was a little kid. I was 5. It was one of my first memories. I got to meet Pierre LaRouche, who was on the Penguins. Thought it was the greatest thing ever. Greatest thing ever. So to the kid, it means something. You take a kid to meet Tommy DeVito, little Italian kid named Johnny.
Oh, he's a hero. There's so many people in Jersey and New York and Philly and like so many people looking up to him at the moment. Like, I get it. Your time is money and you got to strike where the iron is hot, but you've already agreed to a price. You can't go back and double it, man. Come on, dude. Like
Guess you really didn't want to do it.
It's a bad look.
Right?
It's a bad look. Who cares? It's just go and do it. It's a pizzeria. It's your people. Literally, it's your people. Like these are your people. If you're gonna run around and do this all the time and do the hand gesture, these are your people. This is a pizzeria owned by Italians in the New York, New Jersey, Connecticut, tri-state area.
Yeah.
Come on, man. Like, and the agent should have known better. He's from Boston. He should know better. I know agents are money hungry.
The boys in the chat are blaming the agent.
Maybe. Okay. But the
That's
agents know better. This guy should know better. He's been around enough. He's been, he has his own moment. He's wearing that ridiculous green suit on the sidelines. He was wearing his Italian-American Boston Hall of Fame jacket. That's what that was. He was inducted into the Italian-American Hall of Fame in Boston. Green jacket. He wore the green pants to match on the sidelines. He looked like a leprechaun. Come on, bro.
I moved away to Curacao. I came back, and my mom was in this Italian Sons and Daughters of America, the ISDA.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Uh-huh.
And I would go to the meetings with her and my dad. It was an absolute joy. It was so much fun. A lot of old people, a lot of just bitching, whining, complaining about things, but then there was music and there was good food. It was our lives. Basically, it was just like it was being in like a family reunion every month. Tommy should have gone. Cutlets should have.
Come on, man. Bad look. And then once Rovell got it, woof.
Right.
Then it blew up. You got a guy with the 2 million followers on X, and then everybody knew after that, Tommy. So I would have gone for free after that. I would have gone hat in hand and gone like, "Hey, man, I'm sorry, I'm here for free. Like, my bad. Okay, I apologize. Like, it's on me. Like, come on, dude. Like, you could have made way more money after the fact for taking ownership of that,
right?
Than sitting there and holding out for 20K because the PR is it's a bad look.
Isn't that a lesson though? Like sometimes, like when you do stuff just for the money, it doesn't always work out. The money goes quick. It's about life and experience and relationships. Yeah. Sometimes, some people would disagree, but I'm with you.
No, I think again, blame the agent. I'm with you, blaming the agent, but ultimately it's your brand, it's your name, so you got to step up. You can't just hide behind the agent and go, "Oh, I didn't know." Yeah, if you did find out, which I'm sure you do know now, because New York beat writers are asking you about it, I would show up today at that pizzeria for free and just say, "Hey, I'm here. That's my bad, guys. Like, that's my fault. Okay. What happened again? I'm here. Let's go. 2 hours. What do you guys need? Pictures, autographs? What do you want? I'm here." That's how I would handle it if I was him. A quick one and a quick tip of the cap to Mikey Awesome.
Oh, boy.
Boy, did ODU blow that bowl game yesterday.
I didn't even know how to approach it.
They were up 28-0. 28-0. They were up 14 in the fourth quarter, late in the fourth quarter, and they blew a 14-point lead.
Told you it was, we did the show, it was 28-0. I done checking it. I had the text all queued up, ready to tell Mikey that's a pretty impressive win. Blah, 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 blah.
Season
28-14. I'm like, all right, maybe keep an eye on this. I got to go on Sports Grid later. Better just turn it on.
Right.
What's happening right now? Oh, no. What's happening right now?
Collapse.
Oh, no. This is not. No. Uh-oh. It's tied.
Overtime.
Oh, overtime? Oh, no. This is going to be one of those ones that everybody that had Western Kentucky, they knew.
Oh, right. Yeah, right. They can take the victory lap. Yeah, I knew. But if you did bet them down 28-0, bravo.
Hello.
That was a hell of a hit because you had, some pretty nice prices on Western Kentucky down 28-0.
Full season can be fun.
Storming back. Okay, remember when Matt Rule, the coach of Nebraska, told boosters that a top quarterback was going to cost between $1 and $2 million? We all said.
Wait, before you move on, the people have voted.
Yes.
How many more games did the Colts win?
It's pretty split, 4 ways.
2 and 1 were overwhelming, above 3 and 0.
Okay.
So Colts are making the playoffs, boys. According to that.
With Garner Minshew.
They're making the playoffs.
Good for Shane Steichen, though. That's a pretty big first year. Take over a disaster that was last year and go make the playoffs. with a backup quarterback.
Coach of the year?
No, that'll go to Shanahan.
Will it?
It always does. I hate it, but team with the best record almost always gets coach of the year.
Oh,
Brock Purdy, the quarterback, he'll be MVP. Coach of the year will be Shanahan.
Oh, I'm gonna hit refresh and see while you're talking. Go ahead.
So Matt Rule is the coach of Nebraska.
Yep.
Came out about 2 days after the transfer portal opened and said, look, I know you guys, we want a quarterback. You think we need a quarterback, but it's expensive. It's going to cost you anywhere between $1 and $2 million on the open market. And everybody was like, why are you saying that publicly?
Yeah.
Like, that's kind of an interesting, like, are you raising the bat signal? Like, is this like, hey, big money, like, we need funds, guys. Like, start writing checks. Somebody wrote a check, Dave.
So
top
was that
10
was the bat signal.
Top 10 quarterback. Number 8 on ESPN's list.
Yeah.
Flipped from Georgia to Nebraska. Dylan Raiola.
How big was the bag?
The report is $3 million.
Georgia is in the SEC.
$3 million is the report. And it's beyond
going to Nebraska, Perrault.
It's not even that. It's not even the $3 million for the NIL that's going to go to Dylan Raiola. 2 of his family members are on the staff. They all got raised.
What?
Nebraska.
Oh.
And the kid's father is a former Nebraska offensive lineman.
Oh.
The Raiola name is big in Lincoln.
Oh. Okay. So we're staying home.
We're going home, but you were committed for 7 months to the number 1 program in the country in Georgia.
Where did the kid go to school? High school.
He's in he is a Georgia. He's in Georgia. Georgia kid.
Oh, wow. He's not staying home.
He's going to where dad played. 5-star quarterback going to Nebraska. This is like insane because what this does, one, Matt Rule's history of producing college football quarterbacks to go into the pros, pretty good number, Baylor and whatnot. He's a very good college football coach, but now you have wideouts and running backs and offensive linemen who are going to want to play with this kid. He is the starter in day 1. They've already said day 1. It's his program right out of the gate. True freshman quarterback. I was told $3 million is what he's getting. Wow. It's a rumor, but that's for a senior in high school. $3 million to flip. This is literally buying a player, is it not?
Yeah.
Yes, this is buying a player. He was committed to Georgia. And then what happened, like the domino effect, Carson Beck said, I'm coming back. And so that also factored in.
Oh, call somebody.
Say, hey, I might be available.
Carson Beck's coming back. Go find out how much it takes to get a quarterback. Put it out there. Look back at all the things. Now you shout us. You want to worry about the media? I mean, what the hell's going on here? Please, Mr. Media Guy.
I mean, this is the most.
What the hell's going on here?
Amazing get for Nebraska. I don't know. I've been closely watching the Husker football program since 2005. And there have been, I mean, look, the coach of the Bengals, this is the biggest quarterback get since him. I mean, he was a 4-star JUCO transfer coming in.
Who?
Zach Taylor.
Zach Taylor?
Yeah.
Was he really?
Yeah. He was 4-star JUCO coming in. And everybody was like completely gaga when they landed him. It was like, we got Zach Taylor. This is so great. Our offense is going to be great. We need a West Coast quarterback for the West Coast offense. And we got him. He's coming in. Like the fever pitch the Husker fans are at right now is unbelievable. Like they are drunk with this story.
Do they have the personnel to just pop them in and make everything good?
No, they'll start paying for everybody else to come with. It's who will come with him is the real story. There will be numerous players that will want to play with him.
Wow.
And it's a huge loss to Georgia because Georgia lost on Arch Manning to Texas. Now they've lost Dylan Raiola to Nebraska. I mean, this signals, I mean, if this kid lives up to the hype, and who knows if he will, but if he did and does, it does signal a bit of a change in the division in the Big Ten. It's been a bad division. I mean, Iowa just won it with the worst offense in history.
Right.
So you start to build up. The question is, can the kid play in the cold? You know, can he play in this nasty, nasty environment? But there's a kid in Nebraska who was a 4-star who had been committed for almost a year, who says he's going to honor his commitment. From Omaha. 4-star quarterback who said he's still going. Which I was like,
said there's one family member on the staff. He's the offensive line coach. Rule retained him when he was brought on.
Yeah, but his uncle was there too. There's two of them. I believe there's two. I was told last night that there's 2 family members that are being compensated for this. Extensions and money paid.
Wow.
Which would have happened clandestinely previously. But now it happens out in the open. Now it's just like, hey, we bought your family member, but because you're a family, you helped to secure this. I'm giving you an extension.
And there's no divisions anymore, by the way.
Oh, that's right. Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
When that's gone.
Yeah.
It's just top 2 teams make the Big Ten title game, right?
I don't even know who's in the Big Ten next year.
That's going to be so wild to watch. The top 2 teams.
I was listening to Chip Kelly. Chip Kelly, if you haven't seen his quote,
he's right.
I mean, he said everything right. And
just to paraphrase,
he said a secret fan of his, like since the Oregon days when he started
New Hampshire. I've been a fan of his since New Hampshire.
And
he
went to the Eagles and tried to change everything and did all that stuff. And nobody remembers all that. I don't know if they do or they don't, but
Philly does.
He said all the right things in that soundbite. UCLA football, we're doing this, whatever. But he said point blank, UCLA softball is the best in the country, and they're not going to play teams like Arizona and Arizona State because we're going to the Big Ten. Doesn't make any sense.
His idea, in case you missed it, guys, he said that football should be independent, that every single football program should be independent from a conference. And they basically would split the country up in half, and you'd play 7 West Coast teams and 5 East Coast teams, and you would just get into a 60 team kind of round robin type of thing where you're building schedules, and then you play the playoffs off of that. And there's no conference alignments anymore for football, and everybody else is conference aligned, every other sport.
What a monster. That would be incredible. You want to talk about breathing life into something that would be just different, open, whatever. I think it would be awesome.
I agree. I just hate the fact that we're losing conferences. Conferences always meant something. They still mean something to me. I think winning your conference matters. I think winning your division matters. I think you should be rewarded for all of these things. And we've just, I don't know. I don't know how you feel, but I have no interest in any bowl game besides the playoffs.
Oh,
I'm really bummed out about that. I'm mad at myself for that because I'm buying into the idea that I used to push back on the idea that a playoff would kill the bowl season. Kind of killed the bowl season, for me at least.
I've been saying this for the last couple years that I was in the book, and people would be like, "Oh, you don't get it." No, I do. I used to love bowl games. I used to go to bowl games when I was in college. Used to be a big deal. They're exhibition games now. And you can't tell a kid it's important to play in it. You can't. Like, that game was fun yesterday. I wasn't watching it. I only had an eye on it because Mikey Awesome is one of our most loyal fans, followers, whatever you want to call it, friends.
Brigade member, yeah.
Just a good dude. Who I know from coming out and hanging out with and talk and text to and stuff all the time with. So I'm rooting for his school. But I wasn't watching it otherwise. And then when it got interesting, I did. This game tonight, I have no idea. Zero clue, zero care. But this deal is going to change. I don't know. Is it going to change what?
I think it changes a bit with Matt Rule. I don't think it changes a whole lot else. I think it gives Matt Rule, the quarterback, it secures his place, that his fate will basically be tied with this kid. And if this kid's going to stick around for 3 years, the prevailing running joke right now is that this kid's in the transfer portal after next season. He's going to go through one winter in Lincoln and be like, goodbye. He's going to be gone. So, that's the negative anti-spin for Nebraska. But the positive is you have a year with a 5-star recruit quarterback who can't go pro yet.
You get to $3 million and you only have to stay a year?
I don't know what the parameters are. Every deal is written differently. It might be like $750 a year and you stay 4 years and you get it all. That's how you get $3 million. Or is it one big lump sum payment? I really don't know, to be honest. I'm kind of confused by that.
Wow.
So,
I don't know. That's good for him. Good for putting it out there. And if they're going to get it, they're going to get it. These collectives, all this other stuff, I'm learning it as I go.
right.
My kid's leaving for college in 3 weeks, going to New Jersey to play softball. I learned a lot about, what they give, what you can get, what just all this other stuff. I'm going to find out. I'm hoping it goes positive. Could it go negative? Of course. These guys, at least they're getting paid. Is it good for college sports? This is what is good about any of this for college sports?
The kids get paid.
That's it.
That's it. It's good for the player. There's no other real, monster benefit. There's no other real big, oh my gosh, this is monumental. This is awesome. This is so good. It's okay. I think it's a sign of the times. Well, it's tough to coach if you don't have the money. If you got the money, which now Nebraska has the money, clearly, if you got people writing checks, you can be as competitive with anybody in the country.
Right.
So, if you can sign 5-star quarterbacks and then 5-star wideouts and then 5-star running backs and 5-star linemen, now you're talking.
Wow. This kid's name is Raiola?
Yep. Dylan. Dominic is dad.
AOWN said he's been to 3 high schools in 4 years and flipped his commitment.
Yes.
Oh boy. He's definitely not staying at Nebraska.
Hold on one second. I got to get someone at the door. Hold on.
Oh boy. Here we go.
It's just a whole mess. Sorry. Hold
on. No. Take your time. I win the bet. I thought it was going to be the dogs. I did. I said the dogs are going to get loose, but we had an over-under bet that somebody would be at the door, most likely Maddie's friend, before 1 o'clock. And it's before 1 o'clock Pacific, and he had to go. Hopefully settle this. Stressful times right now, the week before the holidays. There's people watching the show. We had Jessica call yesterday during the show. She was pretty excited that Kansas City beat New England. So we'll have to just keep it quiet. Hopefully he comes back calm. He's fired up today. I don't know, you guys. This stuff about, reporting injuries and all that other crap. Nobody's going to do it because nobody gives. Sorry, Will. Nobody gives a shit. That's part of the problem. We're all gambling and this and that. Yes, we care. No one else does. Got it?
My apologies. Vacation is, is what it is.
It was before 1 o'clock she came to the door.
No, that was somebody else. That was not actually. That was somebody else who came to the door.
Title shot?
Not for me. No, it was for Madeline, but it was somebody who doesn't know. Knock, knock, knock. No one comes. Come back. Knock, knock, knock. No one comes to the door. You need to walk up and be like, "Hey, no one's entering the door for a reason. We're not entering the door." So, go away. So, just a kid in the neighborhood who's not in school because the kids are in school, so they get to run around and it's 1 o'clock Pacific time and they can knock on neighbors' doors. Is what it is. Okay. John Morant's back tonight. Memphis is 7-point dogs at New Orleans.
NBA is interesting tonight.
What are your expectations for Ja tonight? 25 games out.
I think Jaw's going to come back with a little bit of a chip on his shoulder. I expect him to play well tonight. All of that being said, I wouldn't take Memphis plus the points. You don't have Memphis plus the points in the book it, do you?
I'm not betting NBA tonight.
No NBA. Boston's playing Golden State. B's and C's parlay today.
Minefield everywhere.
C's and B's, actually. We got to.
I'm not laying 5.5. I'm not laying 5.5 with the Celtics.
No,
on the road against Golden State. No, I would bet over in this game. That's about it. But I don't want a side.
Celtics money line, easy. Just put that together with Milwaukee or something.
Did that hit last night? That 4-legger? No, Sixers lost.
Sixers lost. Sixers got everybody.
Wow.
Yeah. They could put it. No, I don't know. I wouldn't trust Phoenix on the road at Portland. That's for sure. Pelicans will win a game. B's and P's. C's, Celtics. Celtics, C's and P's.
You like these two together? Celtics and Pelicans together?
Celtics and Pelicans. Both win the game. Why you think Golden State's live to win a game? I don't know what Golden State is, right? We're seeing what they're new now. No Draymond, no everything's clear out.
They just Golden
now.
State just Curry just ever since they played in the finals, like Curry's got when he sees Boston because he did the whole thing, he did the whole sleep thing that like Celtic fans really don't like Steph Curry. And Steph is not disliked by many fan bases. So I'm always hesitant whenever Golden State plays Boston.
Fan base is different than most fan bases in the country. They don't even like their own players.
It makes me scared to go like 5.5. I don't know. Like I can see Golden State winning the game outright.
Really?
Yeah. I'm not betting it. I'm not touching it.
Is this the first game of the road trip for the Celtics?
Feels like it, right?
Yeah, because they were home. Chef Benny just dropped in a super chat.
Yes, it is.
C's and B's parlays plus 123 tonight.
That actually has lost more times than it's won this year.
How about that?
Excuse me. You had SoCal DJ pull that.
I did. Thank you, SoCal DJ.
And that's actually it's actually down money this year.
Yeah.
Which is somewhat surprising. That it's like, oh, I didn't realize that was down money this year.
Especially with the Bruins being 19-5-4, or whatever the hell their record is. Feels like they win every night.
What are they on pace for? Let's see. The Bruins currently have 43 points.
Rundown. What are you doing?
They have 43 points before Christmas. How about
what are you doing?
Wow.
But it's not part of it's not on the list here. What are you doing?
Because I have a bet of over 99.5 points for the Bruins, or 98 points, over 98.5 points for the Bruins. They're almost halfway there before Christmas. That's great. You brought it up. Just looking at it.
You changed. I was talking about the Celtics. You went to the Bruins.
You bring it up. Flyers, Devils. You were all in on the Flyers yesterday during our conversation with our Philly guy, Sean.
I know.
Where are you in this game tonight?
I like the Flyers tonight. No? Plus money? I like the Flyers.
I almost bet it.
Yeah?
I almost took the Flyers. I almost did. I think you're right. I like Philly. Carter Hart's playing really well.
Did we get the goalie shit for that?
It's supposed to be Carter Hart in net. It's Vanacek.
More for the it is for
I think it's Vanacek. He's supposed to be. It's expected to be Vanacek. Let me see if it's been confirmed or not for Vanacek tonight for Philly. It has expected, but Carter Hart is confirmed.
Yeah.
So we don't know what Vanacek yet.
Flyers are allowed to win that game.
Fair. I was plus 140. Was
under.
Ooh. Under with a Devils game. 10-4 to the over at home.
Oh.
Oof. Devils don't play many games to the under.
That's going to be because the Flyers win 4-2.
Oh, okay. Don't hate it. That's not horrible. I got a miracle.
Otto just came in the chat, said he has over 6 and Philly team total over 2.5 last night.
From last night. Yeah, fair.
That's what he bet. So
don't mind it.
He has a team total over. I like the team total for the Flyers over. That's good. That's a good bet. Over 2.5. Wow.
Knights are at the Hurricanes tonight. Hurricanes are favored. Rare dog for the Golden Knights.
Yeah.
Opportunity. Vegas.
What do you make of the Hurricanes?
I have no idea. They were my pick.
Mediocre. I mean, this is like they are not who we thought.
I thought. I mean, I picked them to preseason. I picked them to go to the Cup out of the East.
Yeah, I don't know.
I thought they were going to be awesome. I thought they were going to be completely different to what they've been. I mean, at home this year, they're very good, though. They're 8-2-3 at home, but they're 8-10 on the road. Stink on the road. But home, they're good. Golden Knights are 9-3-3 on the road, so it's good on good. Logan Thompson keeps playing because Hill can't go back-to-back games given the injury he suffered. So back to Logan Thompson for the Golden Knights tonight, who have a 3-game lead on the Vancouver Canucks, who might be the most surprising team in hockey.
Good call. Leaning Knights?
Yes. Dog. I think this is a dog night in hockey.
There's a lot of games.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of games.
And I mean, you have Vancouver and Nashville with that game at a pick in most books. Total being 6 is surprising for Vancouver.
Why?
Because they play over games.
6.5 over now.
Oh, it is? Okay. I was going to say it was
6.5 over minus 20.
It was 6 this morning, and I was like, wait a minute. Why is it number only 6? That seems to be extremely low. Vancouver is 18-11-2 to the over on the year.
Yeah.
And Nashville at home plays over games.
Wow. 6.5 over minus 20 now. So that 6 was a gift.
Oh, I'm wrong. Well, Nashville at home is 9-5-3 to the under. Huh. I thought they played more. I thought they were an over team. They're an under team at home. They're an over first period team. That's for sure, though. We've got that. I mean, I think it's going to be. We got a minute here before we let go of our friends from Sports Grid and Sirius XM. What
we're going to address in the bonus time, if you've ever heard what a hematoma is.
Of course,
if I could possibly have one right in the side of my.
A hematoma's in your head, I thought.
No, you can have hematomas anywhere.
Oh,
so if we have any doctors in the house, I need to know.
You don't have a hernia?
I've never had a hernia. I don't know.
You get it from coughing?
I was told if I go to the ER, it's going to be 3 times. So I can't go to the ER.
Why? Why wouldn't it be covered?
I don't know. That's what I was told. So
what?
I made an appointment with the doctor for 3 weeks, but I got this pain in my side. I don't know what it is. So we'll find out.
I think it sounds like appendicitis.
Was told by my resident expert doctors here in the house that that's not appendicitis, but we're gonna fight it as long as I possibly can. We'll see.
I'm gonna put my money on one or two things, because what you told me previously about you ate something and then it hurt. I tell you it's A, your gallbladder. That's my leader at minus 120. I'll put even money on appendicitis, and I'll go with the dog for a hematoma.
Okay.
That's rare. Because don't you get hematomas from trauma? Getting hit?
Said I coughed too hard.
That might be hernia.
I coughed hard, and that's what causes pain.
Bad bruise. Injury causing blood to collect and pool under the skin.
And you can have it inside. Yeah. But I got no bruising.
Hit? Did you get hit?
I feel like I dodge punches every day sometimes. But
because
no, I did not get physical.
A hernia is when parts of your insides bulges through an opening or weakness in the muscle or tissue that it contains.
Yeah.
So that on your side is where you get a hernia. And from coughing, it's when you have issues in your abdominal cavity, which can cause a hernia. So I'm guessing it's one of the three. Because it happened because the pain you told me you're in before about after you ate something, I was like, I know that pain. I wound up on a hospital slab getting my insides cut open when I had that pain.
Yeah.
That was my gallbladder being blocked.
Yeah. I've been drinking water and eating bread. That's it. That's all I ate. Bread.
When you were sick?
No, period. Since.
Oh,
this whole time. That's all I've eaten. So we're gonna.
Well, if you have any doctors, in bonus time we'll address it. If you're on Sirius XM or you're on Sports Grid, thank you for being here. We appreciate it. It's a busy week for everybody. We thank you for your time during this holiday season. We're back tomorrow. If you guys are with us on YouTube, Instagram, I guess Instagram locked up, but Instagram, YouTube, and on Twitter, you guys are with us, and you guys are going to get what we call bonus.
Football guy 97 said maybe it's gas and I just need to take a shit. I wish that was what it was.
No, because you had it after you ate pizza, because if the pizza was really greasy, that sounds like your gallbladder, because that's what was happening to me, and that's how I wound up in such severe pain. It woke me up, and I drove to the ER, and then they took a took a CAT scan, and they said your gallbladder is going to explode. You're going to the hospital and you're going to have surgery in an hour. And they put me right there, down, open, good to go, yanked it out.
Wow.
So it sounds, and you can treat your gallbladder for a while. Like my mom has needed to have her gallbladder out for a long time, and she just doesn't want to have the surgery. So there's different foods you can eat and different things you can do to help get rid of the gallstones, but it's the most common surgery in America.
Huh.
Most hospitals perform, I think my guy told me that they perform like some obscene number. Like every hospital performs something like 8 or 9 a day for gallbladder surgeries.
We'll see. I don't know. I just, I was going to go to the ER yesterday and I was told, I can't and this and that. So try not to get, a major blow up in the house here this week with Christmas coming.
Good luck.
I feel like shit. I had a big fever. Nobody told me what it was. I got no diagnosis.
Well, you knew because there was a flu virus in your house, so it was.
The fever went down. Well, that's what they think. But I have this pain and this ridiculous cough that only happens when I sit like this.
Oh, well, that's problematic.
Yeah. So
for what you do for a living,
exactly. It's a bad spot for me to have to cough and talk. So I have to figure this out in the next couple days. Otherwise, I'm not going to do this for a couple weeks, which it'll be okay.
You have a week. Yeah.
So we'll see.
We'll see. We'll get you out of here, though. All right. We go with some hockey for bet it or book it. We'll start with the Bruins and the Wild under 1.5 goals.
What?
Plus money.
Really?
Boston Bruins, 8 of 9 games under in the first period. Marc-Andre Fleury is in net tonight, who has been very good for the Wild on the road. Sub 2.7 goals against average in 2 of the last 3 games under in the first period from Marc-Andre Fleury.
I'm surprised. This is an overplay, no?
I think it's an underplay. This is Ullmark in net. Wild last night gave up 3 goals in the first period to the Penguins.
Pittsburgh.
So that out of the gate, they're going to be looking at getting heat from their coaching staff saying, guys, get off to a better start. Give Fleury some opportunities. Bruins are an under team at home. The total is 5.5 in this game. 1-0 after 1.
No, I don't know. Minnesota 7 straight first period unders.
Yep.
There you go.
And the Bruins are 8 out of 9.
Yeah, we'll book it.
Okay. I like lack of offense there with the Bruins on that. It is one of my favorite plays of the year. Nashville and Vancouver over 1.5 goals in the first period between the two of them.
Minus 140?
Yep. It's expensive. Saros against Casey DeSmith. Saros has been playing pretty well. The fear is Saros. Casey DeSmith's given up 1 at least, maybe 2.
This has to be a bet it.
Nashville's still one of the best teams to a first period over in hockey. And Vancouver is an over machine.
Huh. Wow.
Fast start.
I say bet this.
Okay. Drake is playing at Alcorn. That should be Alcorn, not Akron. Sorry, I misspelled that. Not Akron. Did
Alcorn State.
Yeah. Yes.
Did we? We got Mikey Awesome asked about the Omaha Steak. That's tomorrow.
That's tomorrow. Monday, Wednesday, Friday.
Monday, Wednesday, Friday for Omaha Steak Searing Hot Take of the day.
Yes. Drake team total over 86.5. Has this game moved?
I don't know how.
It has. It's gone down. The total's gone down.
Yeah, I thought this was high last night.
20.5. 21 still the number though. Yeah. I mean, come down a little bit. DraftKings is at 152. Offshore is 152. Circa's a little low on 151. Alcorn State is one of the worst defensive teams in college basketball.
They are
across the board.
I could not believe the numbers. One, I couldn't believe you bet this game, but then I was like, oh, Drake, okay, that makes sense.
Yes.
So then you click the preview, and you look at the stats. 1-10 in everything that Alcorn State is ranked is like 300th in the country or worse.
Oh, so I'll give it to you. Here are the stats for Alcorn State. In adjusted defensive efficiency, 358th. Effective field goal percentage.
There's only 360 teams, I think, right?
370. There's 370 college basketball teams.
Okay.
361st in effective field goal percentage. 326 in offensive rebound percentage. 355th in 3-point defense percentage. 358th in 2-point defense percentage. They are awful. They gave up 100 points in their last game to Northern Iowa. And if you understand basketball and Ben Jacobson's offense, the fact that UNI scored 100 points on anybody should be like, oh my God, this team is awful defensively.
Wow.
Drake scores about 82 points, 83 points a game at home. They should score 90 tonight. Without shooting threes, by the way, just running. Alcorn State is 71st in the country in adjusted tempo. They go up tempo. There'll be possessions for Drake. Layup line.
I guess all of these things sound legit. I still book it.
Okay.
That Drake's, that's a lot of points.
This game is scary as hell. I'm laying the 4.5 with Marquette at Providence, but you can easily push back on this, and I'll concur about what Providence's home court advantage is. It's legit. Ken Pom has this as a 5-point win. I lean towards the under in this game. Has this moved? Has the total moved in this game yet? Let me see.
What do you got? Let's see. 146.5.
Wow, it's gone up. Okay. It's gone up. It was 146 last night. It's 145 at open.
146.5, two places, Caesars and Bet Online have one.
That's my fear. I lean towards the under, but the first move going to the over gave me pause, and I was like, wait a minute, it's right on the number. And Marquette can play up tempo. I mean, Marquette straight up can run and score, and they can. These two teams last year played. I think the total, it went to overtime, but the total was like 198 or something like that.
Huh.
So it was. But this is a new coach. We don't know about English and what he's like at Providence. He's 9-2.
What's the name of the place they play at?
Amica Pavilion. There's a middle name for it, but it's no longer the Dunk. It used to be called the Dunkin' Donuts Center.
Right.
But it's like they will be lined up. The student body will be there right now. Like they're there right now, waiting for the game tonight. It's going to be sick. This is the game. This is the game I'm watching tonight. Of all the games, this is the game I'm watching tonight.
I think I take the home dog.
It's not a crazy bet. It really isn't. It's going to come down to execution, and I can't get past the strength of schedule for Providence. They just haven't played anybody anywhere near who Marquette has played.
Right.
I mean, not even Providence's schedule has been Columbia, Milwaukee, Wisconsin, who they won and beat, by the way, Kansas State, Georgia, Lehigh, Wagner, Rhode Island, Oklahoma, who beat them, Brown, and Sacred Heart, versus Northern Illinois, Rider, Illinois, UCLA, Kansas, Purdue, Southern, Wisconsin. They lost to Purdue and Wisconsin, Texas, Notre Dame, and St. Thomas. Like, we're talking about just, top 10, top 5, Illinois is 14th in KenPom. UCLA is 48th. Kansas is 11th. Purdue is 2. Wisconsin 17th. Texas 33rd. Like just a different level of competition.
Wow.
Marquette's better, and they've played in 2 hostile environments. They lost to Wisconsin. They beat Illinois. I think they're ready. I think they're ready for the challenge. First-year head coach for Providence with Shaka Smart's defense. Lean towards the under, but I was
going to say, this sounds like a dead under.
I lean towards the under. I do. I mean, defensively, all of the metrics would tell you the game should go under. Like it's Providence has the 21st adjusted efficient defense in the country. Marquette has the 19th. Effective field goal percentage, Providence is 8th. Marquette is 124th, but they are really good at forcing turnovers, top 15 in the country at turning you over. They're hard to shoot on, they're hard to score, and they make you, they try to speed you up and make you grind it, turn the ball over. It's just typical Shaka Smart. I mean, this is the best team Shaka has had at Marquette. And again, I'm really high on Marquette. I really like Marquette a lot. I can't get over the fact that Providence just doesn't have the Jimmies and the Joes to go up against Marquette. But the length of Providence on the perimeter is going to cause a real problem for Marquette. They are long on the perimeter. Good game. Really good game tonight.
Time's that start?
I think 5 our time.
5:30.
5:30 our time. Okay.
All right, good.
Extra time for the student body to be boozing.
Right.
So they will be well lubricated for that game in Providence. And Chef Benny's going to it.
Oh.
So we got brigade members in the house.
Nice.
So that'll be fun.
Hopefully, Chef B, take a picture of you in a BvB hat.
Yeah. Okay. So a couple here for our super contest.
Super chat.
Super chat. Thank you. Super contest. Something else. Super chat.
Guys tied for first.
Is he really 3-2 night?
Tied for first still.
He took Seattle last night.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
So.
Big business. I need to ask about the UTSA Marshall game. Frank Harris, the quarterback, is in his 7th year, last year of football ever, and a local hero.
Wow. Holy crap.
All of the overs, right? I have no idea. Which team does Frank Harris play for? UTSA? I'm guessing because Big Business is a Texas guy and asking that question, so I'm guessing he plays for UTSA. I have no idea. So I'm sorry. I'm bad.
Just click refresh on the line. Wow, that line is 8? That line was 12.
And yes, Benny, you're right. It'll always be the dunk. I agree. No matter what they call it, it's always the dunk.
That line was 12 this morning.
And now what is it?
UTSA was minus 12. It's minus 8.
Who's not playing? Is Frank not playing?
Oh.
Who's not playing in that game?
Oh, man. Booking the bowl games is tough.
No, thank you. Betting the bowl games is impossible. No, thank you. Big Business says, just saying it now, I will be insufferable if Dallas takes the division. You should be, because Dallas is not taking the division. So,
whoa. I mean, he said he would be insufferable if they did, and you just.
I just don't. I mean, look, I hope that they do.
Donkey kicked them right in the nuts. Bam!
Listen,
You're not
I said it in August. The Eagles were not going to repeat because no one has repeated in the division since 03-04. So I was like, Cowboys are winning the division. Bet the Cowboys because that's why the Chiefs aren't winning the Super Bowl and the Eagles aren't winning the East. Okay, so now the Eagles may win the East. That's good news for the Chiefs. I could be wrong on both fronts. But I just don't think, given who the Eagles are playing, I told you, I don't believe in Tommy Cutlets. I love the story. I don't think the team's any good. They went to New Orleans, and what happened? They got their doors blown off like I thought would happen. So, same thing with this week. I mean, the Eagles losing to the Giants is Armageddon time. Sky falling time.
Oh, God.
So, I think the Eagles are going to win out. I do. I think the Eagles lost their last regular season game last night.
I don't know if I'm ready to go that far, but they're winning 2 of 3.
Okay. And that's all they need. If the Cowboys lose one more game, that's it.
Right.
So they tie. There we go. And the Cowboys have 2 really hard games left.
Whitrock just came in with a super chat that I want to read. Shout out to his daughter, Brooklyn. She turned 6 today.
Yay.
Brooklyn with 2 N's. That was a really good idea by you and your wife, Whitrock, that she's going to curse you for about the next 18 to 20 years.
It's different than the city.
Different than the city. Yes.
Yeah, it's Brooklyn.
Could have put an E on the end of that.
She could go by
one
Brooke.
N.
She could go by Brooke if she wants to. Or she go by Lynn.
That's a great name.
She wants
it's a fantastic name, but she's going to be spelling it for the rest of her life.
Oh, it's wrong. Yeah. Right. It's like my daughter.
We did that with Kendall.
Yeah. Madeline's the same way. And people misspell Madeline left and right.
Yes.
So they want to put an E in it. There's no E. It's It's Madeline.
Right.
Not Lynn.
Correct.
They forget which the spelling is. So yes, I concur. I told her, I said, people are going to misspell your name your whole life. You got to correct them.
Yes. So we did the same thing to Kendall. Happy birthday, Brooklyn. You're going to see a bunch of, if you're watching it or your dad's watching it, look at the chat. There's going to be a bunch of people that you don't know with funny names like Eron Sean, Big Business, Chris Covey, wishing you happy birthday. Me and Matt wish you happy birthday as well. Little Whitrock.
Good stuff. I think that's all of them, right? For super chats. Whitrock, Chef Benny of the season B is parlay. We talked about that already. So yeah, that's all of them. So thank you guys for those. We appreciate the super chats.
Syracuse plays on Thursday. We'll
college basketball.
Syracuse. No, believe it or not, the Syracuse college football team is in a bowl game on Thursday in Boca Raton at South Florida. What? You're not excited by that? No?
How bad are the bowl options when Syracuse is in a bowl game?
Syracuse is in a bowl game. That's breaking news in itself.
How bad are the options?
How can that be?
My God.
It's going to be head-to-head against the NFL game. There's not going to be not too many people are going to be watching Syracuse and South Florida battle it out in the Boca Raton Bowl.
Can't see it. Favorite thing about today is what?
One, upright. Two, the show and the chat and the ability to have discussions and disagree and have constructive conversation with people from all over basically the world. I mean, we both retweeted the Twitter feed. You got it on your Instagram. It's on your personal Instagram, right? People keep asking me, where did I find it on Instagram? It's on your.
I retweet it from the show account, but we run it on my account because I have 18,000 followers on my account versus 5 from the show account. So we run it on my account and I retweet it. So
on Instagram, where is it?
Oh, yeah. It's just at Sports Talk Matt. Yeah. We don't have if that really goes and people actually like to do that, having us be on Instagram, I'll start a BvB Instagram account and we'll put it on that. We just don't have a Bostonian versus the book Instagram at the moment.
Right.
I mean, it's just not really our audience.
Okay.
But if it turns out to be our audience, then we'll go there. But yes, it is. It's only for 1 hour. After an hour, Instagram cuts it off.
Right.
You can only do a 1 hour live stream. Like StreamYard, who we use to produce the show, there's a big disclaimer when you go ahead and post to Instagram. It says, memo, Instagram will only allow us to run a 1 hour. If you are running a 1 hour live stream more than that, please note that it will be cut off. We are working with Instagram to try to rectify that issue.
Right. Okay.
So,
well,
kind of sticks.
Those two things. And then third, yesterday, I wanted to pose a question to the brigade today. Me and Little Consig started our first day of vacation with the matchup
Games, right?
Of 2K, basketball. So we picked the teams, and it was 2K21. So she picked the Warriors, and I picked the Sixers. And I don't even want to mention the score. I covered the spread. Let's by a lot. Okay. Because all I did was figure out two things: how to pass and how to shoot on offense.
Okay.
And on defense, switch to the guy closest to the ball and jump so I could defend or get a rebound. It's only two things. There's 25 buttons on these controllers now.
And I told you.
Play PlayStation. It's not just the circle, the X, the square, and the triangle. There's L1, L2. You hold this and switch that with a lot of things. But Kendall's 9, going on 10 very soon. Am I supposed to let her win?
No.
There wasn't 1 second where I thought I'm supposed to let her win.
No.
And, things were happening. And I was dunking. I figured out how to get it. If I threw it up, I could dunk it and all this other stuff.
Right.
I was having fun.
Okay.
We then, after a couple ass whoopings, decided to play street ball because she wanted to know what that was. So you play on asphalt in a park.
Oh.
It's fun.
Do you call your own fouls?
No, you don't call your own fouls.
That's too bad.
But there's no free throws. There's a foul.
Side out.
Side out. You just take it out. Whatever. But then
whoever created that, by the way, you're calling your own fouls, was like someone who wanted to watch brawls. That person enjoyed to watch people fight each other, because I've seen more fights be set over fouls that were either called that weren't, or that were and that were not called, than anything else with guys playing games with each other.
Put it in the chat right now if you let your kid win at 9 on PlayStation, on
Okay.
2K1, because I did not. But the best thing about today was the last thing we did was I said, why don't we play together? She says, what do you mean? Be on the same team? I said, yeah, we'll be on the same team. So we played 4-on-4. She picked the teams. It was like me. It was Giannis, Durant, Kyrie.
Oh, wow.
And Devin Booker. She likes
Okay.
Devin Booker.
Okay.
Was our team. And then she picked 4 randoms from the other teams.
And what was the skill level of the opponent?
Same. It wasn't like NBA superstars, but it was close. But we got to control the 4 guys on our side and learn to work together.
Oh, cool.
It was fun as hell, and we ended up winning 2 games. After the second game, she jumps up, turns the controller off, says, I'm done. And Jessica was enjoying watching us play. She had gotten home from work and we were playing. And she's like, why are you quitting now? She's like, I want to end on a positive note. That was fun.
I like it.
I'm done.
It's good.
Controller
Good
off, game off. We watched Password last night. Did you ever watch? Do you remember the game show Password?
No.
Where you get a word and you have to give a 1-word clue to your
Never
partner.
heard of it. Never heard of it.
Oh, it's a good party
Oh.
game. Yeah.
Is it new on network TV?
Jimmy Fallon is one of the people there doing it.
Ah.
It's what the networks throw on right
Yeah.
now for the next
Yeah.
3 weeks.
Until they
Yeah. Password.
Sure.
You let your kids win. It's in the poll on YouTube right now. Vote.
Vast majority say no. Sweep the leg. Vic, sweep the leg.
I mean, this is what you have. They have to learn. No?
I don't let my daughter win. No, I don't. When we play, she beats me.
I never did.
But she beats me and stuff. So she'll beat me, fair and square. She'll straight up beat me. But that's when
anyone ever let you win?
No, that's when Kendall plays air hockey against Madeline. I want her to win every time. Crush her. Beat Madeline every time. Make her get better. Make it, because then it'll bother Madeline and she'll be like, I got beat again. I go, okay, you need to play better. What are you having trouble with? What can we work on? We'll get you better. So then you can come back and win. But that's what I like. Every time I ask Kendall, what was the score? She's like 9-5. Okay, good.
Yeah.
Keep on, beat the hell out of her. Good. Keep on beating her and to make Madeline better.
I asked Maddie that last week at bowling. I said, I went in to say hello. And she said, yeah, we played air hockey, but I got 3 this game. And she was excited about it because she had been getting shut out. And Kendall goes, you're lucky you got 3. And I was like, oh, here they go.
Good. That's perfect. That's great. I love that. That's what
awesome.
I want. Get her fired up for it. So it's, I
never
like
let
it
them
a lot. Mine is kind of similar to what yours. I posted this. Patrick Harrington was asked a question about how do you get your kids to fall in love with the game of golf?
Yeah.
And his answer I thought was unbelievable. I can't play it because I don't have the rights to the clip of it, but I can paraphrase
He
what he
posted
said.
it. It was good.
Yeah. At Sports Talking About, you can see it. Basically, what he said was you shouldn't be teaching your kids how to golf. What you should do is take your kid to the golf course and let them do whatever they want. Let them splash around in the traps. let them hit, let them putt, let them do whatever you want. But the most important thing is that afterwards you go and have a soda with your kid and you spend 15 minutes talking to your kid about what's going on in their life. And you do that every single time. It's the most important part. Forget the game. The game doesn't matter. The most important part is that 15 minutes you spend with your kid, because they will start to associate that conversation with the game of golf. And the thing that brought him back to the course over and over and over again was the memories he had with his father playing golf. And they will associate the conversations, the two of you, and the bonding the two of you were having after the round with the game of golf. And when they get older and they go play, it'll constantly remind them of the memory that they have of spending that time with you after the round of golf. And that will make them nostalgic for you, the relationship, their childhood, everything. Keep them coming back to the game and keep them coming back to the golf course. And I thought that was absolutely fucking brilliant, because how many times do we go to the range and yell at our kids to beat balls or make our kids go do something they don't want to go ahead and do, or practice this or practice that? And he's like, that's not how you do it. You'll get the kid to love the sport by the memories the two of you build doing nothing to do with the sport, but it's around the sport.
There's no way to explain that to parents that aren't ready to hear it. But you posted it. I watched it 3 times. First time, you got to get through the accent a little bit. You got.
I love Patrick. I love it.
I mean, I know it too, but you got to really hear all the words. And hear what
they've got the words on the screen, so you can.
I know that's why that's great. Yeah. But second time through, I went back to my mom and dad. And this is what they did. They didn't even know they were doing it, but they would just take us places and drop us off and sit while we did whatever it was we did. I lived at the Boys and Girls Club down the street, or, couldn't walk there, so I had to be driven there. And they would either wait in a car, they would come in and wait in the lobby. We would go play hockey. We would play basketball, whatever it was. I played ping pong a lot. And then they would go home. What'd you guys do? We'd tell them. Most of the time, I was telling them more than my brothers and sisters were, or my brothers anyway, at the boys' club. But like, there were so many events that we did. They didn't tell us what to do. They just let us do it. So like, I did that with my kids and didn't even realize I was doing it, but it was just what I knew. So I'm doing what I did. And now, like, my kids, I mean, they love just going to games. They love just, like, my oldest is in his workout beast mode, fiend right now to get ready to go to college. I didn't teach her that. Like, it's just, you don't know what the kids pick up unless you put it out there a little bit. I loved it, Perrault. I saw it last night. I said, this is the best thing about today, is just being a parent. That's all these kids ask is time. My dad used to say it all the time. I want to put it on a t-shirt. It's all about the time. Being a parent is all about the time. I tweeted the picture of Tiger smiling from ear to ear on Sunday when Charlie hit that chip shot.
It's so good.
And I thought one of the greatest joys in life is seeing a kid have success as a parent. That's all you want. Anything. Whether it's a piano recital, a performance in a play, a great report card. Right. Anything. It doesn't have to be a sporting event. Just take joy in it for them.
Yeah.
So.
And it's true, too, on a lot of levels, the muscle memory that we forget, like the kids are sponges, and they're picking up all sorts of different traits and different things from us that we never really can see through their eyes. But if you create an environment where this is just the two of us, like when we go to the course, I'm going to play 18, you're going to ride around, but you're going to come and the two of us are going to sit down afterwards. And he was really, watch the clip, but he's very like, you have to do this because this is what will make them want to go back to the course. He did talk about creating a professional golfer. He didn't talk about creating a Division I All-American. He didn't talk about anything like that, which I think is really significant because I do think, in Vegas, and I see it at the rink now with fathers and moms who are watching hockey kids, and putting a lot of pressure on the kid and like, you have to do this. You need them. You saw it all with softball. And it's kind of like, that's not what they are going to remember. That's the negative stuff they're going to remember. The pressure you put on them, the pushing, like it should come naturally. Not to say that it does for every kid. And some kids are going to play sports. Some kids aren't. My daughter's not really an athlete. She likes playing sports, but she's never going to be an athlete. She likes other stuff. That's totally fine. I'm completely cool with that. Whatever she likes to do, I want to, she likes to figure skate. So we're now having her in figure skating really heavily. So it's driving to and from the rink. Like she's going to remember going to the rink. She's not going to remember the lessons, but she's going to remember the time in the car before and afterwards, or going to get hot chocolate, or go and hang around and talk. Like those are the things that she will remember. Those are the moments that's the time that matters. We think because we're older, we know better. Like we know the work ethic. We know how hard it is. We're told, how hard Michael Jordan worked to get where Michael Jordan was and all that nonsense that we're told this is the way you're supposed to do it. And the kid just wants to hang out and have a Coke. Just wants to talk to you.
And feel like a big kid.
Yeah.
When you, like Padre said, you go to the clubhouse and you have, in the area. He's talking about regular, just
the grill area. Yeah.
Just go to the grill.
Yeah.
And sit with all the adults. You see all those adults and you're sitting there with the kid having a drink. I used to say it all the time. I learned so much about life on the rides to and from practice. I was going to write a book just about that.
Oh, wow.
Being a teenage girl's dad. What I learned on the drive to and from practice. Wow. I didn't say shit. I just said they got control of the aux. I learned what that was, AUX. I got aux. Okay. There were times the aux was loud. There were other times it was low. There's a lot of venting.
That's really
get in the car, say whatever you want. It was priceless.
I think you probably agree with this. Joe the Fat Panther just said, interested parents are the number one predictor of a child's success.
Ooh. Really?
I don't know if I 100% back that, but I do, because I think sometimes way over interested parents can be problematic, can be a detriment. So I think there's a scale to that interest. Like it's got to be within the healthy range, but I think you're there, your presence is needed. And then
not just your physical presence. Like you can be there. If you're not there, you got to be there. Like you got to be there. Go 100%. Ask teachers when you do the parent teacher conferences. I ask every time I go, how many parents came in? Like, you guys are the second set of parents today. Like that's all that's going to come in. What? Oh yeah. The apathy in a lot of parents today. It's scary. So I think interested is one thing, but like overly, like helicopter parents, they call it, or snowplow parents, where you're pushing them. That ain't always the answer either.
I agree. That's why I'm not 100% because the word interested, I think, needs to be explained a bit. But if you're there and you're taking an active interest in what they are doing without it being, detrimental,
right?
I think that's it's huge. It's a gigantic thing that, keep teaching your kid confidence, teaching your kid to trust themselves, trust in the process, to, hard work is hard. That's the thing that I struggle with as a dad is explaining that hard work is supposed to be hard. Like kids, my daughter, I'll speak for my daughter, she'll give up quickly on stuff. And like, that's really what I don't want her to do. I don't want her to give up when it gets hard, because you need to fight and build that scar tissue up to be willing to push through when it gets hard, because nothing in life is easy. It's all going to be hard. And if that's all we're doing as parents is preparing our kids and giving our kids the weapons to go out in the world with, it's the one thing I want to make sure I explain to my daughter, that nothing's going to be easy. Everything's going to be hard.
Right.
How you respond is what you control. That's all you can control. Your effort. If you quit, you're giving up on yourself. Don't do that. So she's 9, so I can't push too hard on that, she knows it. I quote David. She can quote David Goggins back to me, so it's good.
Right.
She already knows the Goggins quotes. It's great. It's phenomenal. I love it. It's like Goggins. She's like, yeah, stay hard. It's great.
Oh God,
folks, appreciate it. We will be back tomorrow, same place, same time. Hopefully, you're having a great holiday weekend. We appreciate you spending a couple of hours with us each and every day.
We're doing shows this week. We're not doing shows next week. Someone asked us in the chat.
Yes.
What's your guys' schedule?
Yes.
We're doing tomorrow, Thursday, and Friday.
I think
no shows.
I think
week,
I'll be able to do the show on the 2nd from Boston because I fly at night on the 2nd back to Vegas. Does Kendall go to school on the 3rd like Maddie? Does she have Monday, Tuesday off?
I believe so. Yes.
Unbelievable. So we just stayed. We just said to screw it. We're staying because we'll fly in the 2nd.
Right.
So we may be able to do the show on Monday from back in Boston, but I'm going to be in New York and crazy running around the whole week in New England. So it's going to be tough for me to do the show while I'm back east.
Yep.
For that. So back tomorrow, same place, same time here for BvB. Thank you for being here. Like, subscribe, and all the fun stuff.